I'm ready. I don't know about you. Hi!
Welcome to the first episode of Between Two Sisters,
where we have a heart-to-heart
with each other.
We thought it would be really fun to kind of pull you guys into the sister conversations that we just have with each other on a daily basis. Just talk about real life and the good and bad and the hard things and the questions that we have and the concepts that we think about. We thought that would be fun to share with you guys.
Without further ado,
but we've been thinking a lot about contentment and comparison
and confidence. We have 4 ways that we would like to share with you that we have found to be helpful in becoming more confident and being more content.
Number 1, service.
The most obvious way for me to increase my contentment and my happiness in life is to look outside of myself and serve others. We had a mom who taught us from a really young age, what did you do for someone else today?
Yeah. I think her line was always, this is not about you.
Yeah,
for everything. We didn't want to sing at something.
Our lives are gifts from God, and He wants us to use them to serve and bless the lives of others. God wants to help us, and He hears our prayers. He knows what we need, but most of the time He's probably going to send a servant, a messenger, a minister to help take care of your needs, because He can't always do that for us, so we have to do it for each other. Luke chapter 17 verse 33 says, "Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it." In other words, if we're living life only for ourselves, our lives are going to be pretty dull, they're going to lack contentment, and it's just going to feel empty. But if we are focused on living our lives not only for God but for others, I feel like that gives you a chance to really blossom and find yourself and lose yourself in the service of others.
Number 2, we decided one of the best tricks to being confident and happy, content in life, is to have an attitude of gratitude. And I think there's a lot of ways to show your gratitude, and one can be just in your prayers to the Lord, just expressing and literally listing the things that you're grateful for in the day. And it really helps you when you say it out loud, or like you write it down, to see all of the great blessings that you have in your life, and it helps you not want unnecessary things and just be grateful for the many things that you already have. I think it's really fun sometimes to just express your gratitude in a journal. One of the best ways to flip your attitude is to write down 100 things that you're grateful for. And I remember doing it, and like by the time you're finished, I had some weird things on there because it's like 100 things. It's like popsicles. But by the time you're done, you're like, wow, my life is so great. I have so much. I'm so blessed. And another thing that I thought of was our dad.
Air conditioning.
No!
We have to wait till it turns off.
Before the AC. Yeah, we'll just keep going.
Sorry about the AC.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry about the AC. Oh,
it's
okay,
go. Okay. Another thing that I thought of that's really awesome that our dad does is he has this little stone that has gratitude written on it, and he keeps it like in his pocket or in like a work bag, and anytime he sees it or like feels it in his pocket, he remembers to just in his head and in his heart express some sort of gratitude for something that day. And I think that was just really awesome.
Number 3, you do you, boo. Comparison is the thief of joy. There's a quote by Bonnie D. Parkin that I love. She said, "We cannot allow ourselves to feel inadequate by focusing on who we aren't instead of who we are." Ooh. I posted about this on Instagram actually, because it's something that I totally struggle with. I noticed that as I spend more time on social media looking at
me too.
other people, or like you subconsciously start comparing yourself to what other people have or what they do or where they travel. It's just so dangerous, because even if I felt really good about myself, suddenly I feel like I'm missing something. Like there's something that I don't have that I want. And I think it's so important to not even go there. Just think about the gifts and talents that you have been blessed with, because you have a specific mission to fulfill. God has a plan for each one of us, and it takes so much work. It's exhausting, to try to be somebody else or keep up with somebody else, because it'll never make you happy. As sisters, we have been compared to each other our entire lives.
And we could have gotten caught up in that.
I think because we've stayed grounded and found the individual things that make us who we are.
And celebrate uniqueness.
It even happens in when we get asked questions about ourselves, like, who's the funny one? Who's this? Okay, so which one of you is the smart one?
Yeah.
Which one of you is the bookworm? And we're like,
well,
what if all of us are smart? I hope so.
She's the only smart one. Yeah, sorry.
It's not safe to pit yourself against somebody else and feel less than who you really are and feel like you're not enough, because you are enough.
Yeah.
That leads to number 4.
Seek God first. If you look to God and what he thinks of you, you're going to get a huge confidence boost. 1 Samuel 16:7, it says, "But the Lord said unto Samuel, Look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart." It's a good check for all of us to be like, where's my heart at? What are those characteristics that I have that you can't necessarily see on the outside that you know that the Lord approves of, or that he's proud of you for having or working on? God only sees your heart, and really only his approval matters, and he is the person that is best to center your life on. And to, instead of going to Pinterest or Instagram, you can always pray and ask the Lord to give you that confidence, and he will. You're his children, and he loves you, and he will tell you what he loves about you and point out the great things that maybe you don't see in yourself, and you're like, oh man, I do have that to offer. And
also strengthen you where you are weak, because everybody has weaknesses, and alone we are not enough. But through Christ we can do anything. We can do all things.
I think one of the greatest friends that you can have in your life is the Lord. If you seek him first, you are going to just have a lot of other great things fall into place in your life, and you'll be happy and confident and fulfilled in all of the right, lasting ways.
These are things that have helped us, keeping the right perspective, having gratitude, reaching outward to serve other people, and focusing our lives on God and our relationship with Christ. Ultimately makes us feel really happy and content, and gives us confidence.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. Next time we'll have snacks for all of you. Actually, I did bake something.
What?
This, my friends, is what you do when you have leftover roasted sweet potatoes. You make them into brownies.
If you guys have any topics that you want to talk about with us, please comment below or tweet at us right on our Instagram. Just anything that you're interested in or have been thinking about. Guaranteed we probably talk about it, struggle with it too.
Yeah, we go through the same things.
Yeah, we're here for each other. We're here for you. We know you're here for us, and we're so grateful for that. Let us know what you would like to hear from us, what topics you want to talk about.
Be sure to read the full blog post that we wrote on this topic on our brand new blog, Sisters in Sage, which we're so excited to have launched.
Thanks, everyone. What do we say at this one?
Same thing. We're still the Gardner Sisters.
Okay. Good night, everybody! I was gonna smash it in your face, but then I decided not to.
It's sort of mushy.
Oh, it's good.